for example number 5, we have another right triangle, except this time it's our old friend the 30-degree angle. And so if you remember the ratio on the 30-60 triangle, it's 1 to the square root of 3. Again, we're asked to find SOHCAHTOA. In other words, we're asked to find the 3 trigonometric ratios that are represented on this right triangle. Again, remember that sine of 30 degrees is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. And that cosine of 30 is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then tangent of 30 degrees is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So we got to label the triangle. Immediately across from the 90-degree angle is the hypotenuse. Whoops, I get a little excited when I start writing. And then across from the 30-degree angle, this is the opposite side. And the remaining side is just the adjacent. So 90-degree angle, hypotenuse is across from the 90-degree angle. 30-degree angle, this side is the opposite. And then the adjacent is this. So for sine of 30 degrees, I'm going to have the opposite, which is just 1, over the hypotenuse, which is 2. Well, that was pretty easy. So sine of 30 degrees is just 1/2. And we could verify this with our calculator at any time. If I just hit sine of 30 degrees, I get 0.5, which is the same as 1/2. Okay? So sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. Cosine is going to be the adjacent, which is the square root of 3, all over 1, which is, oh, not 1, 2, right? Because the hypotenuse is 2. Whoa, Mr. Adams almost made a mistake there. I can verify that because I know, well, let's figure out what that is as a decimal. So if I say the square root of 3 divided by 2, I get this decimal, which is 0.866. So let's approximate that. So the square root of 3 over 2 is approximately 0.87, approximately, right? So then if I plug in cosine of 30, like so, I should get the same value. Yep, approximately 0.87. Okay? So if I go up, so that's correct. And then tangent is the opposite, which is 1, over the adjacent, which is the square root of 3. Again, we want to rationalize the denominator. So we're going to multiply the denominator by the square root of 3. Whatever I do on the bottom, I have to do to the top. 1 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 3. The square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is just the base, which is 3. And that's our answer.